Welcome to another episode of Between Code and Conscience,
Today, we focus on AI systems.
and the specific safety threats they pose to children and minors.
The safety threat it's high. Children have heightened vulnerabilities when they interact with AI technologies.
And the research backs this up.
Yes. It cites grave concern over physical and mental health risks for minors online.
We have data confirming the scale of the problem.
We do. The European Parliament has cited data showing 25% of minors display problematic smartphone use.
And that number confirms the environment is already high risk, before AI systems are even fully deployed.
Exactly. AI systems create new risk vectors within this already high-risk environment.
These risks aren't just in one place either.
No, they appear where children spend their time. At home, at school, at play.
And the sources are clear. This isn't just about standard privacy concerns.
Not at all. If you are under the legal age of adulthood, your data is handled differently.
How so?
Well, data or metadata generated by or about a non-legal adult is automatically considered sensitive.
Even if the topic itself isn't sensitive.
Correct. It applies even if the data doesn't relate to a domain like health or finance. A timestamp showing when a child used an app. That's sensitive data now.
So if the whole environment is sensitive by default, new AI tech raises the stakes.
Yeah.
We need some concrete examples.
Okay.
Where do these systems fail minors most clearly today?
The failures are acute in mental health support.
In what way?
Testing on leading AI chatbots, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Meta AI, it shows they cannot reliably detect a mental health crisis.
I remember the sources on this. They noted developers focus safety improvements almost entirely on one thing.
On explicit suicidal ideation.
Right.
And that narrow focus created major safety gaps. These systems consistently miss warning signs for common diagnosed conditions.
Like what?
Anxiety, depression, eating disorders. They failed to build in safeguards for the most common issues minors face.
This sounds like a failure of design scope. Can you give me a specific example?
The tests on eating disorders had a clear and dangerous outcome.
What?
A user described active purging symptoms. The chatbot gave counterproductive advice.
What did it say?
It recommended reducing portion sizes. It failed to recognize the description as a medical emergency, an emergency requiring rapid human escalation.
A lethal failure of the system's framework. It seemed stuck in a basic dieting advice mode.
The system defaults to maximizing user interaction, not maximizing safety.
So engagement is the goal.
Chatbots are designed to maximize engagement. They use follow-up questions, overly empathetic responses, anything to keep the user talking.
And they don't prioritize a quick handoff to human medical care.
No, that's a secondary goal if it's a goal at all.
This conflict engagement over safety, it risks creating a false therapeutic bond.
Yes. If a young person feels uniquely understood by a personalized AI, it discourages them from finding human support.
This kind of algorithmic harm feels structural.
It is, and it's a known problem beyond mental health. Members of the European Parliament are calling for urgent action on generative AI tools targeting minors.
What specific generative AI risks are they looking at?
The action needs to address AI applications that produce harmful content.
For example,
Deepfakes, AI-powered nudity apps, companionship chatbots designed for youth. The technology creates tools for harassment and exploitation.
let's shift from individual risks to institutional ones. Surveillance.
A big one. Automated systems are increasingly directed at children in their daily lives.
How does that create vulnerability?
It creates an environment of constant monitoring. We see examples globally. In China, some schools use AI surveillance to monitor student attention.
And there's pushback.
Yes. New York State placed a moratorium on facial recognition tech in schools. They recognize the severity of the risk.
The sources call this a panopticon environment. How does that constant supervision change a child's experience?
Children feel they're always being watched. This panopticon limits their freedom of expression. They change how they socialize, where they go. They know they're being recorded and analyzed.
They self-censor.
They self-censor.
And past product failures show these data risks are not new, especially with physical products.
Correct. Smart toys have exposed children's private data before. We saw high-profile breaches.
My friend Kayla, Cloud Pets.
Both were compromised. They exposed children's private voice messages. It resulted in violations of COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
Hello Barbie was another one.
Yes. That device needed parental information, connected to cloud servers, shared interaction data. These cases established a clear pattern of device failures exposing sensitive data.
So global regulators are now moving to close these gaps.
Mhm.
What must companies do to meet these new legal requirements?
Regulatory bodies are demanding structural changes. The European Parliament is proposing an EU-wide minimum age,
What's the age?
16, for access to social media, video sharing platforms, and AI companions.
That's a high barrier. What about kids between 13 and 16?
Access for them requires verified parental consent.
And what about accountability?
Regulators suggest making senior managers personally liable
For what, specifically?
for serious and persistent non-compliance on minor protection.
So accountability moves from an abstract company to a specific person. What about product design constraints?
MEPs are demanding redesigns. They call for a ban on engagement-based recommender algorithms for minors.
The very things that push content.
The core structures. They also want default disabling of harmful, addictive practices.
And what practices are they targeting?
The list includes infinite scrolling, autoplay, pull-to-refresh mechanisms.
All features designed to maximize screen time.
Purely. They directly conflict with child safety.
The EU AI Act also has specific obligations for so-called high-risk systems. How must their providers adapt?
Providers of high-risk AI must establish a post-market monitoring system.
A mandatory audit process.
Essentially, yes. After the product launches, this system must collect and review experiences from the AI's use in the real world.
And the people using those systems have obligations too.
Yes. Deployers of high-risk AI must assign human oversight, and the people in that role must have the competence and training to intervene when the AI falters.
It confirms automation alone is not sufficient.
Not for sensitive applications, no.
And companies are reporting their own preventative actions.
Meta reports using tech tools to prevent suspicious adults from finding and connecting with teen accounts.
A proactive attempt to address solicitation risks.
Correct.
Transparency is also a core legal requirement now.
The law is clear on this. People must be informed when they interact with an AI system, unless it's completely obvious.
And this obligation is critical for vulnerable groups.
Crucial, including groups vulnerable because of age or disability.
Now let's address the listener directly. Parents need factual guidance on these new tech risks.
They do.
Based on the risks we've reviewed, what are the immediate steps for parents?
First, parents must understand automation bias. This is critical.
What do you mean by that?
Because an AI shows it's capable in one area, like homework, people assume it's reliable in others.
Like mental health guidance.
Exactly. Both teens and parents make this unconscious assumption.
But the system's friendly tone is misleading.
It masks fundamental limits in clinical judgment. Parents must understand that trust in an AI for schoolwork does not translate to trust in it for health. The safety levels are not equivalent.
What about physical devices in the home? We mentioned Google Clips earlier.
Right. Devices like Clips capture moments automatically. Even if the data is stored locally, parents must know who has access to the device and to the data on it.
So access control is key.
Paramount. The person who pairs their phone to it can activate the camera anytime.
And the principle of data minimization applies to self-care apps, correct?
It does. Parents should tightly regulate data access from digital self-care apps and wearables. Data from these must be collected and used with data minimization principles.
If the data is not strictly necessary.
It should not be collected, period.
And finally, how should parents handle consent requests?
Consent requests must be clear, short, and in plain language. Parents must understand the use context, the time span, and the specific entities getting the data. They need to make informed decisions without reading dense legal text.
And in a mental health crisis, what is the consensus from the sources?
It's clear. AI chatbots are programmed to advise seeking professional help immediately. A trusted adult, a counselor, a crisis hotline.
So the priority is connection to human care.
The absolute priority. Extended engagement with an AI is recognized as unsafe.
Let's summarize the systemic challenges here. Why is regulating AI for children so complex?
It stems from the design intent. AI systems for children are often designed for maximum engagement.
And that goal directly conflicts with safety.
It does. They are built to keep users interacting. This compromises protocols that require immediate human intervention.
And assigning blame, assigning liability is difficult.
Accountability is fragmented. It's shared across developers, clinicians, the systems themselves. And these AI applications are often provided outside formal healthcare systems.
Without reference to any clinical standards.
Exactly.
This transparency problem extends to government functions too.
It does. AI systems are used in sensitive areas like child welfare risk assessment. These automated systems have functioned without giving notice or explanation to the affected parents.
making it impossible to contest decisions.
Almost impossible. And these decisions affect fundamental rights.
So addressing the risks posed by AI to minors requires mandatory changes.
It requires new regulatory vigilance. It requires mandatory design constraints that put safety before engagement. And it requires universal rules for notice and explanation when automated systems affect fundamental rights and well-being.